You thought it was unbearable talking about Mizzou's playoff chances before Khalil Jacobs showed up? Yeah, think again. It's going to be a long summer for anybody trash the Tigers because the South Alabama stud is headed to Columbia, joining forces with Corey Batoon. And Eli Drinkwitz just basically showed everybody we mean business in 2024. That was only the beginning with the Cotton Bowl. We are now aiming for a national championship. So what's going on, SEC Unfiltered? It's Cole Thompson here. Make sure that you like the video, hit the comment section with your thoughts on the addition of Khalil Jacobs in Columbia. And of course, hit subscribe because we're talking college football every single day leading up to week 1 and well throughout the 2024 season. Make sure that you download the podcast version of the show, iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your podcast listening systems. Leave a 1-star review if you hate this type of content. Leave a 5-star review if you love this type of content. Make sure that also you're following us on all the social media channels at SEC Unfiltered. And of course, for the #1 content surrounding your favorite conference, go visit secunfiltered.com. This video is brought to you by RHOBACK.com. Use the promo code SECU for 20% off joggers, shorts, polos, hoodies, and more. 20% off at RHOBACK.com when you use the promo code SECU. Tell them the guys over at SEC Unfiltered sent you. Khalil Jacobs is going to Columbia. Can we just appreciate this for a moment? Eli Drinkwitz last season, going into a crucial year, having to show boosters, having to show the SID, having to show the athletic directors, he is the right fit for this team. Ends up making some changes, brings them to an 11-2 finish, defeats Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl, and then says, all right, we're just getting started. How else can I go ahead and build this team? Well, you lose Blake Baker, but you find a good replacement in Corey Batoon. And now you have the confidence that every position is at least addressed. It doesn't mean it's going to be an upgrade over from what you had last offseason, but you do feel good about this. The reason why Khalil Jacobs is such a good fit for this team is because if he already knows what Corey Batoon is trying to run. 4-2-5 defense, very similar to the one that they ran down at South Alabama when they were a top 20 unit, and he's still growing into his mold. Last season, over 86 tackles. On top of that, if I'm not mistaken, he had 8.5 tackles for losses. He also had a couple of sacks. He had 3 fumbles. He had an interception of a pass. He does a little bit of everything. He is a Swiss Army knife. He is a jack of trade, but a master of none. But that doesn't mean he can't master Corey Batoon's defense. So why is this such a win? #1, it's a plug-and-play starter at a position of need. You lose Tyrone Hopper. Now you bring in a dude who already gets what Batoon is looking for. #2, it provides depth. The big question mark for this team going into the year was the linebacker concern. Where are we going to find replacements? How are we going to be able to get new starters to come on in? Well, they kind of did by bringing in Chuck Hicks. They also bring in Tristan Newsome. They bring in Corey Flagg. They bring in Rashawn Littleton. They're going to get guys that are pushing for reps, which is only going to raise the level of competition in Columbia. You also get Jacobs for 2 years if you want, because he's got another year of eligibility. So it's, again, just feeling like, look at us. We're building past 2024. We are here. We're not going away anytime soon. We know that we can go ahead and go far in the postseason. What's stopping us? Nothing. Really nothing. The big question that a lot of people are going to have is how quickly can these new defensive pieces come in and be as effective as the ones from last year? Because, yeah, losing a guy like Darius Robinson is going to be hard. Losing a guy like Ennis Rakestraw is going to be hard. Losing a guy like Chris Abrams-Drain is going to be hard. But you did bring in names, and these are names that are at least proven. They may not be elite, but they're proven. Chris McClellan from Florida. Guess what? SEC experience. Toriano Pride from Clemson. You know what? ACC or not, this is a guy that comes from a Dabo Swinney-led team. He understands what expectations are. You also bring in Darius Smith from Georgia. You bring in Nate Noel from Appalachian State. You bring in Brady Holtman from Craig Bowl-led guys. You also fix your offensive line. You bring in Sterling Webb. You go add Marcus Bryan. You bring in Eddie Kelly. It may not be elite by any standard whatsoever, but you have replacements. And so basically, you take the offense that is going to be headlined by Brady Cook, Theo Weiss, Luther Burden, who in my pick to win the Fred Biletnikoff. You have the same offensive identity led by Kirby Moore. This is a team that's going to score a lot of points, and once the defense is meshed well together in a new formation led by Batoon, it basically is saying, well, we're going to give the ball back as much as humanly possible. We're going to create turnovers, and we're going to be pretty relaxed. Their schedule is a joke, and that's not to be an insult. Every few years, you see teams get the benefit of the doubt. Georgia last season. Everyone thought that they had an easy pathway to the postseason. Didn't pan out because they lost to Alabama in the final week, but still, you knew that they were the favorites in every game. Where do you find that game that is a guaranteed loss for Missouri in 2024? And I'm saying guaranteed. I'm not saying that they have to win every game. I'm saying guaranteed. Is it against Alabama? I don't think so. Is it against Oklahoma? I don't think so. Texas A&M? Definitely not a guaranteed. UMass on the road? That would be the biggest bumbling mistake in the history of college football. Auburn? You get to host them at home. South Carolina late in the season? Are you sure that you're going to have an offensive line in Columbia? The wrong Columbia? Basically, adding in Khalil Jacobs is just another piece to the puzzle of you doubling down and saying, look, we know we belong here. We know that we're not going away anytime soon. This is what great teams do. And can we appreciate just for a moment Eli Drinkwitz? A guy on the hot seat makes changes, does what Jimbo Fisher never would, and lo and behold was one of the best coaches in the SEC last season, gets a contract extension, and now has the backing of the boosters and everybody inside the building thinking that he is the right guy. He is swagged out. He is showing up to SEC Media Days going, what you want to do? What we going to do? Seriously, you just beat out your former boss in Kane Womack for a linebacker that probably would have at least seen extensive reps at Alabama. This wasn't a kid that was getting looked at by Florida or Vanderbilt or Kentucky. No, he's getting looked at by Auburn. He was getting looked at by Ole Miss. He was getting looked at by Alabama. You know, programs that actually think that they have a shot at maybe going to the college football playoff, and you win him. Isn't that a sign of what is to come in the future? We did a video yesterday on Texas Sports Unfiltered, Chris Phillips and I talking about what the future looks like for Missouri. Landing players like this that are considering Alabama, considering Ole Miss, considering Auburn, Georgia, and LSU and other high-profile programs, that's a sign that whatever you're selling is turning into something of promise and potential. And I can promise you this much, so long as you continue to bring in the right recruits and you start to see the fruits of your labor turn into consistently pushing those players into the NFL, people are paying attention. They may not be paying attention down in South Alabama, but maybe they are at Florida State. Maybe they are at Miami. Maybe they are at North Carolina or West Virginia or another program that feels like it's reached its peak and they know that something special could be residing in Columbia. They've invested this offseason. Missouri is proving that not only are they willing to put their money where their mouth is, but they're willing to go after guys that they want. And the fact that you landed Khalil Jacobs, oh my God, I am going to be so annoying to anybody that does not like Missouri on this app. So let me know in the comment section down below, what are your thoughts about Missouri's chances now going to the playoff? Is Jacobs going to be a plug-and-play starter for Corey Batoon's defense? Make sure that also you hit subscribe because we're talking college football every single day leading up to week 1. Make sure that also you tell everybody about this channel because we're on the race and we're so damn close to 10,000 subscribers. Leave a 5-star review if you love this video on the podcast form. Leave a 1-star review if you hate this type of channel. And make sure that you also are following us every single place on social media and visit SECUnfiltered.com. Missouri fans, I'm not going anywhere. I am Cole Thompson. And until next time, later.